A message from Christ on a cinnamon bun. Unable to initialize. So shut up. I don't care. And you know another thing? Whatever. Let's see here. Alright. Ooh. That's odd. Okay. Let's see. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. Alright, well, I'm gonna, first go to Mother Base to see if there's any cutscene. Also, I'm pretty sure I have another thing for Kaz to see. I'm not totally sure. There's only like one cutscene I don't want to show. Oh shit. Here's a cutscene. It's a good thing I didn't do this before then. I was scared that I would like go back to Mother Base on my off time when I'm not streaming it, and then a cutscene would happen and I'd be like, shit, I can't fucking replay it. Did we see this before? I don't even know. I'm not sure. Oh great, I got that. They're torturing Quiet! And they're showing boobies! Oh no! How could they do this to Quiet? I don't know why they don't just assume that Quiet has the vocal cord parasite at this point. That would explain why Quiet literally doesn't say anything, let alone secrets, you know? I would just be like, don't let her talk. Still, she should be able to write shit. Quiet. Oh shit, it's Quiet. I didn't know. Why would you... Okay, well, I guess they do address it. I guess names aren't any language, so... Alveoli. Rubbing alcohol. Huh? Yeah, she was in the beginning. I'm moving the mic. I'm still triggered about it. She'll be fine. Ocelot's so passive aggressive. Aww, this little man angry. Are you angry? Cool. Hey, we got an examination report. And I need to watch another cutscene, or at least a part with Paz. But first I need to shower, because I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't done that in a month. Woo! I've changed a few things, like D-Dog is a different color, because I wanted a change. And I have so much more equipment now. But, nothing really worth noting, because who gives a shit, to be honest, you know? Today's stream is not going to be very long because I have so much to do. I have people to see. I have something. But I wanted to do this at least a little bit today because I fucking barely ever get to. Ah! I was thinking today I was gonna I want to do more shit on my channel than just this like easy content, just that's simple, you know, to put out. Like streams, you know, it's not really much. It's fun to do, but I want to be at least a little bit more creative and put work in, because most of the work I do is like at work and not stuff I make. My head hurts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like we have 4 more to do. Ooh. Ooh. We've got another tape from that. Let's listen to it while I look at things. Shouldn't be that long. It's 2 minutes. It's copyright music! No! No! Hurry up, get me out of here! I don't want the copyright strike thing to happen to me, so please hurry the fuck up. Hurry up. Yes, you are. Why are you yelling? So anyway, I don't know if you were watching, paying attention, but since we watched that cutscene with Quiet, we now can develop clothes for Quiet. Quiet can now wear clothes, which is particularly fucking funny, because the whole point, she's in skimpy clothes in the first place, from what Kojima said anyway, what Kojima claims, is that she breathes through her skin. You know, it's dumb, but clearly, she's fine with clothes. No one needed that explanation. He just likes boobs, I guess, you know? Which, if you do, that's fine, but I don't want to see it all the fucking time, especially if family members are fucking watching me play the game, you know? I don't want to fucking deal with that. Alright, so I don't know if I showed this, but some of these are repeat missions, but Cursed Legacy is not, so we're gonna go ahead and do that with D-Dog here. Oh shit. Oh, that's a shotgun. Yeah, you know what, let's go in with the shotgun. Who cares? Who cares? D-Dog has the Fulton. Let's stop using the stun arm for a minute. Let's use the Hand of Jehudi, just to show it off. I don't even know if it'll come into play. I have the bandana now, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. I upgraded a lot of shit. I have a lot of new stuff. We're gonna start using a shotgun more. Anyway, let's go in at night, because I forget what this mission entails, really. By the way, I don't know if I'll ever show it or not, but I have begun to do the FOB missions, which are online missions against other people who play the game. And they're alright. You know, they're not super interesting, other than they give you a way to infiltrate Mother Base, basically. Why the fuck were there a shit ton of fucking animals over there? I kind of want to go check it out. I have had that ability for a very long time. Anyway, I'm gonna... There's like a flock of fucking crows for some reason. And I'm not entirely sure what that is about. So I want to go see for myself, if I can. Without... what the fuck is over there? Huh? Why is there a whole pack of... What's going on in this mission? But that's okay. I can, cancel them. I can cancel them all. Like, I have a feeling that they're part of the mission somehow. Like a mission task. Fucking... Whatever. I don't care, honestly. I really don't. Give me this. There's a mission task. See, look at all these fucking birds. What's going on here? Holy crap. Alright, well. I guess that's all it was. The birds told you where the fucking thing, the diamond was. But anyway. We got a lot of dogs. Pretty fine with that, you know? D-Dog, of course, makes this really, really simple. Guess we're going down here again. Well, we can't go that way. Can't go the easy way. We have to go all the way around. That's ridiculous. Well, that's a-okay. We're fine. There's a couple things I definitely want to do in this stream before I end. And that is one of the side ops is one of the... I could interrogate, but who cares? What am I doing? Containers? The containers are around here somewhere. I don't know. But that's okay. I guess I'm infiltrating this place. Or going this way, actually. I don't think it's here. What's that about? For no reason, really. It's sort of arbitrary that they would do that now. Did I show the wormhole already? It's been so long, and I don't watch my own streams. Not recent ones, for sure. What do you mean stepping up security? They're not acting any different. Okay, here we go. Oh, they got a helmet. Are you kidding me? What? They're fucking... This isn't good. Well, there's one oh, no. No! Oh, fucking God. Alright, that was not a good thing to do in general. Huh? It flew over there? Okay, well. Well, he's gonna come down here and trigger that mine I accidentally set. Which will make him go to sleep. Basically. If I can delay that, that would be great. True. The hand of Jehudi would probably be helpful here.
He's coming too. Roger that. I've updated the info on your iDroid. Take a look. The PF soldiers have no idea what's in those containers. Strictly a need-to-know basis.
Well, we'll go to one, then deal with another.
Visibility in the jungle isn't great. Watch out.
Well, it's fine.
Run into the enemy at any time.
Not with D-Dog.
Feel the roots.
Huh?
The branches become one with the forest.
What are you fucking talking about?
Is aware of the enemy's noise. You must be too.
Thanks. That really helped me out. Oh shit. That's not good. Oh shit. Don't fall asleep, dick. Oh, shit, fuck. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Why didn't that work? Why didn't it work? Fuck you! There's no reason why I should have got caught. The Hannah Jehudi apparently needs to load before you can actually grab anyone, even if you point it in the right direction. That's fine. It doesn't matter if they pick me up or not. I don't give a... Oh, fucking shit! Stop! Fuck's sake, D-Dog! How did you get caught in it? Ah! So much bullshit right now. At once! I don't care! I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. The S rank will be something to do when I'm done. I don't give a fuck. Ouch. No, do not kill me. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not happy. So much bullshit. Bye-bye! Bye-bye! D-Dog, my bond with D-Dog went down primarily because D-Dog's a fucking idiot and will not move away from Sleep Grenade. We got more cassette tapes. Crazy. It's crazy. Alright, what else? What else is there to be done? Yeah, I'll just do... I'm just glad that there's more to do now, because I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over.
Updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid. Boss, some of the kids we've been keeping here have escaped. We don't know why they ran off, but it may have something to do with Ralph's death. The intel teams are looking for them as we speak. I'll add information to your signed ops list as it comes in. You need to locate and secure those kids. We'll try to find out what happened.
I will secure the kids. Well, let's do that. That sounds like a good idea. Because obviously I can't do important side ops when no one's here to see it. There's another side op that isn't important, that is eliminating wandering puppets. So zombies, basically, is what they are. Gazeba Camp. Konami updated this game and now I can't use mods on it. It's really annoying. Konami, just leave it alone, for Pete's sake. I already bought it. I already bought the game. I bought this game 2 times, in fact. And Ground Zeroes. Twice. Because of bullshit reasons, basically. It's nonsense, man. It's nonsense. Oh, right, I have a shotgun. Forgot to use it. That would have been extra helpful against those enemies with, like, full-on impenetrable gear. There's a chopper here.
Fighting's still the only way of life they know. If we don't bring them back, they'll just end up getting killed.
Anyway. That's a-okay. Ooh, there's a couple of those things. Apparently the iDroid refuses to acknowledge that they are there. Well, it's not the iDroid, I guess. Anyway, the kid's there, so it's gonna be super simple getting in. Where are you? Gotta take this down. Bye-bye. Oh, I didn't do it fast enough. For Pete's sake. I just wanted to destroy the chopper. I don't know why I keep doing that voice. Ooh, these are actually better. Let's just wait. You know, let's just wait. Right here. And listen to some cassette tapes. While they decide to stop. Ooh, Skullface and Code Talker.
You disappoint me. Have you forgotten my face?
Leave me be.
You won't respond to anyone else, so I figured it must be me you wanted to see. But now you won't even look at me.
Have I not suffered enough?
Not until you've eased my suffering first. To tell you the truth, though, I'm in a bit of a bind. It's about your children. You know what I mean? The parasites. The ones that infect a man's throat, killing him if he speaks their language.
They must not be allowed to multiply.
You are allowed to live only in order to help me. But you don't want to, do you? So why not choose death instead? Because you want to protect the Diné and their land from me. That's your purpose, isn't it? Don't lose sight of that. It's in your interest to cooperate. Because if you don't,
Madness.
the parasites can't detect your people's tongue. So I'll just have to resort to more heavy-handed means. I have the greatest respect for your people. I would not avoid such a thing, but we don't always get our way. I was born a tiny mote in a mighty tempest, and until those winds abate, all I can choose is how to act when they blow me this way or that. Tell me, cold talker, what happens to a man infected with a pair of your parasites? Can they be removed? Can the full-blown symptoms be prevented?
It is impossible to remove the parasites. They have too close an affinity with humans.
Then how do you stop the symptoms from developing?
Oh my god.
All right. I was hoping for an answer now, but perhaps you just need a little more time. I'll be back soon. I've set up shop not far from here. We'll be seeing a lot more of each other.
If you are close by, then it is almost complete.
We're in the final phases. All that's left is to see if I can actually disable a nuke with the help of your metallic archaea. Once that's done, I won't have to return here again, and your suffering will end. As will your
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
We're almost finished. Each in our own way.
My only regret will be not. You gonna extract him?
There's nothing stopping you. I'm only alive because you want me that way.
Ridiculous.
As you wish.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Standing between us. You and I. Our goal is the same. We should be working together. A symbiosis.
You do not know my mind. I simply want the Diné bloodline to endure.
Really? You're just
Okay, subject is in.
how you react to all the slings and arrows. That's what counts. That's why you call those squirming monsters your children.
What I have done is forbidden. Forgive me, all of you.
The world should be left the way it is. You of all men should know that.
Well, we listened to one cassette tape. D-Dog basically finished that fucking thing for me. There was like no reason to even infiltrate. I could just told D-Dog to go in and get the child. That's so funny. That is so fucking funny. Alright. This one now. Now it's this one. Support, yeah. I don't want the mine now. I want the, Confuses defenders intel team scouting function. That's only for, like, online shit. There's no reason to use that. Capture cage, yeah. Now! I guess I'm going in the day, even though I didn't mean to do that. By the way, I don't know if anyone's watching right now. I'm not checking the chat this time. I didn't even, like, tweet this stream out or send it in Discord or anything. I don't really care now at the moment. Especially since this might be a shorter one anyway. You know? I wanted to actually say something. What was it? Oh, I was just thinking about how I was watching Oni Plays. I watch Oni Plays, and also, I'm a leftist, politically. I'm an anarchist, communist, and it's relevant because Oni is not really, let's say, Oni doesn't have leftist sentiments, and often has more, I guess, I mean, Oni's generally apolitical, but there's definitely some conservative sentiments there. Oni was, and the whole Newgrounds community essentially was like the peak anti-SJW type bedrock, in a sense, you know. And it kind of is sometimes annoying. But most of the time, you know, it's not really relevant to that. I'm not particularly sensitive to opinions such as that anyway, but sometimes it's like general stupidity, and you know, is kind of annoying. Ignorance to certain things that are a lot more nuanced is really annoying to me, but it's not a huge deal. Why is someone like... Someone's triggered over there for some reason. I didn't do anything yet. They should only react to things you do. What the fuck? Anyway. Oh, hello, loud vehicle. Oh, shit. That's not good. That's definitely not something you want. Just crawl between the rocks. They might leave anyway. Sometimes they just flat out turn around, you know. That's usually not a big deal. But I don't I like Oni Plays because they're just generally funny a lot of the time. Even sometimes they'll mention something that's vaguely political without giving, you know, it's just for a joke, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes they say something that clearly they're ignorant on, and it's kind of annoying. What were they saying? Something about who's anti-communist? Is it Big Boss? Because Big Boss was only anti-communist for like his first mission. for a little bit. Then he was more general against something. Mobutu's belly.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Mobutu. I should look that up. Who the fuck is that? That's interesting. Go to sleep. Go to sleep before... Yes, thank you. I like to frighten people. I was reading about the war crimes committed during the Nixon administration, and specifically the war crimes Henry Kissinger was directly involved with. And part of that involves some of the events in this game, or at least that are referenced in this game. Well, I'm not too sure. I wonder if those are directly relevant. This game is centered in a very actually real period of time with real events. For those who aren't politically aware, the Mujahideen was a real thing. And the Soviets did occupy Afghanistan. Man, I can't fucking talk about this while I'm doing shit. I always go quiet for a large section of time. But anyway, obviously this is not taking place during the Nixon administration, but Henry Kissinger was still active. Up until, at least as far as I know, up until like 2002, because that's when the book came out, was like 2000, the year 2000. Oh, you already got the child, okay, bye.
Boss, about the kids. It appears there's a movement among them to organize against us. I can think of only one person who'd be behind that. I'll continue to look into it.
You can only think of one person? There's a lot of people. Anyway, the book didn't really focus explicitly on the Nixon administration because it was primarily about how Henry Kissinger is a war criminal with impunity. But there was a lot about Nixon, actually. Nixon was kind of a fucking whack job. Not only just in terms of how he was a fucking horrible person, but also how he was, like, constantly drunk, apparently. There was a story one journalist told where he was heading towards the West Wing of the White House, and Nixon was in like a drunken stupor being chased by Secret Service and was like running through the fucking hall and knocked that journalist down and just ran by him, which was really funny. Oh my god, how many fucking children have escaped? Well, okay. Looks like we're done in fucking Africa for now. Shit. Is there anything? Well, there's a Wandering Puppets one. That's the one thing I wanted to do. To show. Oh my god, it's across the fucking map, man. Damn. Well, hopefully I can get over to that box thing before anyone alerts anyone, you know. Because if they go on alert, then I can't go anywhere. Motherfucker, stop. Stop being bad at things in general. Maybe it wasn't wise to extract, but that's okay. Is there anything else entertaining I learned about that? Obviously, it's not funny in general, you know. It was about war crimes and genocide, so it's not like... it's not laugh-worthy. I am so dumb. Look at that. Well, it's interesting. You should read it. Henry Kissinger justified most of his atrocities with anti-communism, but obviously it wasn't at least fully the reason. I have no doubts he fully believed in that, but clearly he was more concerned with profit and increasing the good relations with other authoritarian regimes. For instance, I mean, no decent person can justify Pinochet or anything Pinochet not only did but stood for, but still, you know, it's by the way, these are all basically zombies, but you can take them back. Oh my goodness. I have to choke them out. They can't Fulton dangerous people. So you can do that. There's no real penalty to being seen by any of these things. I just like to see if there's any S rank staff. I don't know how Mother Base heals these people. But, they do. I'm not gonna, bother with anyone under an A++. Bye-bye. Hey, it's an S rank. Hey, what? You have to... It's another S rank. Damn it. Hurry up. Hurry up and get it! Get the fucking thing! Oh hey, I can knock out, this. Why not? And while I'm here, by the way, there's a lot of shit you can get here that's really good, so... Also, I want to dispose of that. That would be nice. So there's a lot of cargo in this building that you can only get with the wormhole. And it seems I've gotten it. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't get it already. I didn't think I did. But obviously, you know, this shit's really good. Precious metal in a red box. That's really good. It's a lot. I really haven't used precious metal for much of anything. But that's okay. Great. 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 Shit I've already gotten before. I don't know if I'll even bother getting all the animals. I gotta... You should just look up what the rare animals are. I don't care about showing them. Who gives a fuck? Alright, Alright, so I'm going to... Extraordinary. What's this mission? Hold on. Hold on. I should have checked what the fucking mission even was.
Boss, we need you to get back a film canister. One of our
Ooh! Okay.
under my orders to investigate the extraordinaries that showed up in Cyprus. The man on fire and the floating boy that keeps showing up where they're not welcome. Apparently they were the subjects of some top-secret research conducted by the Kremlin. Fortunately, that meant our informant drew the attention of the KGB's Directorate S, and they took him out before we could make contact. The good news is he placed a report in a film canister and hid it somewhere in Spookmate Keep. Just before he died, he transmitted VI of the hiding place to us, but the data was cut off partway through. The image is far from clear, but it might provide the clue you need. We'll be analyzing the data further to try to clear it up, but for now, get to Spookmate Keep. The KGB have already dispatched a Spetsnaz squad to retrieve that film canister and cover the whole thing up. Boss, there's no time to waste. Head to Spookmate Keep and use the VI as a clue to find and retrieve that target. Why was Simple left over this one? How are the man on fire and that kid connected to Skullface's plan? We can just get that report, we can blow it all wide open. Then we can shake off the last remnants of Skullface and the phantoms he left behind.
So this one has a person who has the skill Noise Suppression Specialist. And that's a really good one because if you get that, you can get an infinite durability fucking suppressor. So all of your firing can be quiet. And that's like OP as fuck. And I don't think it hinders your rank, as far as I know, so... really good. I'll try to get it. I don't know what the hot zone's going to be by the time I get the film canister. Kind of want to prioritize that right now, but... if not, then I'll do this mission again and...
Our informant hid in Spookmate Keep before he died. It contains vital information on Skullface's plan. For now, our only clue is the garbled photograph the informant tried to send us before the end. We're working on analyzing the data, but there's no time to wait. A KGB Spetsnaz squad is after the target as well. Boss, go to Spookmate Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden. It's paramount you retrieve the target before the enemy does.
So, this is a fairly randomized type mission. The film canister that you're looking for is in a different place each time, as far as I know, because once I got the thing right away, and then I did the mission again and went to the same exact place and it wasn't there, it was in a different place, so it seems to swap locations each and every time. I don't really know if it's preset places or if it's just random within a certain range of Spookmate Keep, but anyway, it's not important. It doesn't really make a difference. What does matter is how I need to do this, basically.
Just what you need for recon.
Yeah, sure is. I don't need it though. Not really. I don't know if I can ever, like, knock these guys out. Like, see? You know, it's just not gonna happen like that. Chukova! Ha 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 ha. The funny thing is, each time they try to knock this thing out, they die. Ugh.
You gotta extract him. He's coming too. Roger that.
Granada! I'm being real quiet because I'm like focusing right now. It doesn't seem like it would be warranting that, but... Well, I knocked everyone out, so... Now all I gotta do is look for it. And it could be in a number of places. It's kind of actually fairly difficult to find. Like... I kind of just gotta pay attention to... the fucking triangle.
You gotta extract him.
Oh, hi. Is that a white rat? Hello, white rat. Ugh, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Well, that didn't do anything for me. Where the fuck is this thing? It's always difficult.
Go get him.
Thank you. Usually D-Dog doesn't fucking do anything for me.
That rodent is a gerbil. Don't worry, it can't hurt you.
I wasn't thinking it could. Bitch! Did you just give up? Oh, I hate you, man. I just don't want these fucking things to talk, to wake up, you know?
Boss, we fully decrypted the VI data. Now the target's hiding place should be clear as day. Check your iDroid.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh. You know, I should mention I'm not good at spatial awareness. I'm like really fucking shit. So even though, is it right here? Even though I literally have a picture of the fucking thing, I do not have a fucking clue as to where that is. So, like, look. It's near the uphill part. I have no idea. It's right here. Bitch. It is not right here. What do you fucking mean? Where is it? Where is it? Alright, I swear to fucking God. I hate these stupid hide and seek fucking games. Hello, gerbil. I need something to justify spending this much time here. Okay, so... Oh, for fuck's sake, man. I know this is not fun to watch. You don't have to tell me. Literally, what the fuck do they mean? Is it that uphill part? I don't know. Yes. It should be right around here. It's right here. There it is. Thank you.
You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Hey, look, it's 2 people that I'm gonna have to take care of here. Let's do that. Alright, so the noise suppression specialist is in a building out here somewhere. Let's try avoiding kills, because so far I have done so. So, I think it might be this building, or one of these buildings. Yeah, I left the hot zone already, so it doesn't matter. And I captured an enemy vehicle.
Alright, mission complete, boss. Maybe you'll actually break a sweat next time, huh?
Well, I can do the mission again later on. I don't care about doing it right now. Especially since it's always a fucking pain in the ass just to find the thing. So, why make someone sit through that, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Boss, I have a quick report for you here. We've discovered a radiation leak in the laboratory on the quarantine platform. It's coming from testing equipment we installed the other day. Members of the medical team have been conducting research there, but we'll evacuate them all from the research block to the containment block next to it. Emmerich. There's no need to worry. No radioactive material is leaked, so the contamination won't spread. We just need to seal off the testing equipment. I've dispatched the security team to get the researchers out. I'll keep you updated.
Ooh, I got a thing. Oh boy. Gotta hide. Alright. So it looks as though we don't have any more new missions, so we just gotta do kids. I mean, we gotta go help kids escape. Not do them. I'm so funny. You gotta do child missions, and basically D-Dog's just gonna do it for us. Hold up, let's listen to shit first. I don't really feel like oh fuck. Nope, we listened to that one. 10 minutes, damn. 10 whole minutes of this cassette.
But my schedule has changed. The time for grace and good manners has now run out. Please, torture will not work on me. Sure you know this. Oh, I have no intention of getting rough with you. You haven't been beaten. Your hands aren't even tied. Just like me, you live in symbiosis with countless monsters. What wounds I might inflict, they'll punch out. You might feel considerable pain,
Well, I'm wedged.
Not as disfigured. They tag them up, one by one, blindfolded. They had to cover all the corners with a you are a parasite. Won't work on my people. True. The vocal cord parasite doesn't respond to your language. But what about English?
An English strain. It exists.
A ring of which and they infect one person. If that person abandons the Navajo language, the English strain will trigger symptoms.
You monster.
So, it's quite simple. Every time I ring the bell, another of your people is infected.
Don't do this.
I don't want to do this. I'd rather not need to ring the bell, which is why I'm hoping you will talk to me.
What do you want? What else could you possibly want?
You know the answer to that. How to prevent the symptoms caused by the parasite.
Cannot control it like some slave. Forget the idea.
Forget it. Unlikely.
I will never tell you. What have you done?
You made me do that.
You black-hearted.
Settle down.
Don't use it again.
Well, that is up to you. All you need to do is tell me what I want. How to prevent the vocal cord parasite symptoms.
Why? Why do you need to know?
The adult soldiers at Walayamasa are all dead.
What?
The parasite traveled downstream.
How?
It would appear that he was involved. Another demon who woke up from 9 years of slumber. As a result, the vocal cord parasite spread through the village.
I told you this would happen.
It was an unfortunate accident. He is becoming an annoyance. He may stumble upon the truth sooner or later, but I suppose that is really of no consequence. One day, he too will pay for what he has done.
Black Anna. The real demon is you.
You know, this incident made me realize something. You are right. I should have acted with more humility. These creatures cannot be controlled. All the more reason to require means to stop them.
There is no such way.
Only
Wait. Don't ring it again.
it is up to you. Out with it.
I see now. There must be more to it than that.
What?
They are in you.
According to the intel team, the escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them.
Just here.
Damn it, shut the fuck up.
Soothing you and the cleansers. You sifted through many language strains, finding hosts, reading more and more. You have been infected in the process. Infected with countless strains. Most likely in mother tongues as well. Romania, northern Transylvania. We found that one too. Yes.
He didn't say yes.
How much? I do not know.
Radiation denatures their reproductive cells, preventing them from mating.
Same principle as the sterilization technique. The reproductive cells are more sensitive to radiation than the rest of the body. But I have not tested it. There's no telling what mutation could result or how the host will be affected. Not to mention what could happen if this is done post-infection.
I don't care.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
As long as it works, the details can wait. You wouldn't be lying to me, of course,
I can guarantee nothing.
I owe you my life. My body has been burned on countless occasions, but it survives, thanks to your children.
Okay, subject is in.
Then do not repeat my mistake.
What's that?
In the West, it is said that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. In the East, it is said the man of flesh brings spiritual power to words. The people knew back then that these creatures carry the gospel. They do not belong in our hands. They must not be touched.
How enlightening. I'll remember that. Consider this my thanks.
What are you, Cash?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Well then, I'm afraid it really is goodbye this time, Cold Talker.
There is no soldier.
Now where did he go? Guess he wasn't as obedient.
There never was any soldier. You. How dare you!
Well. What a scamp. What a freaking joker. Who cares, right? I don't. There's only one left. I may as well take him out. I was gonna go to the ACC, but the fuck is the point of that, you know? Oh, you and your freaking fricks. Bye-bye. I captured the outpost, y'all. Anyway, over here next. Swasilaman. We got to rescue the children. We're nearing the end of this game. And I'm happy about that because I played this game way too much already. What a good time for fucking Sandstorm. Damn. Oh, there's... These are, zombies. Shit. So it didn't matter if there was a sandstorm or not. They combined the zombies with other shit. Wow. Alright, let's listen to Who Prompted the Escape.
That kid who died in the accident, a burial at sea. The man in charge of that facility has been severely punished. But ever since, the kids have been acting strange. It's obvious they've lost their trust in adults. I was getting reports of them ignoring the staff, or getting insolent, and even violent. And a few days later, several of the kids did a disappearing act. They snuck into trappers and shipping containers and got off base. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. These kids were born into war zones, forced to grow up as war fighters. If they're left alone, war is how they'll die. But I thought they showed that there are other reasons to live. I never liked having to extract him. But the thought of them going back to the battlefield and picking up their old lifestyle is something I can't stomach. It makes me think of Chico, 9 years ago. We have to get those kids back. They know too much about our operation. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Aw, is Miller upset? I don't care. Miller's always upset. Who gives a shit? Bye. I don't care about any of you.
He's coming too. Roger that.
D-Dog. Fulton him. Damn. Why do I need to be told like 3,000 times just to do anything? Shit. Bitch. Fuck off.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
You're not. Oh shit! That wasn't very smart. I just ran out of there. I wasn't even sure what the fuck was happening. But that's okay, because pretty sure that side op was completed. Yeah. So, who cares? I'll drop in on this position. My leg's all bloody. Ugh. Such a nice day out. I can't wait to go out because, I mean, it's not warm like it should be, but it is still cute out. Spring just started. You know something about fucking the place where I live? There's these trees that when they begin to bloom, they're white. They're like pure white and they look pretty. But they're trees that give off the scent of semen. And it's fucking nasty. And I hate it. It's fucking awful. It's a bear! Look! We get to take care of bears! Wow. Yeah, this child is being threatened by bears. Yeah, shut up. When you want to begin a mission. I completely forgot about the bears. The bears take quite a lot of tranks to get knocked out. But I can just unload, I don't care. Ooh! D-Dog frightened me. I thought that might have been the bear running up to me. Which, the bears can kill you in like a one hit, so generally not a good idea to try and attack them. I think a surefire way of knocking them out is what am I gonna say here? A surefire way of knocking out a bear is using the electric hand. The electric hand is risky though, because you have to get up close to use it, and you can't use the third upgrade for it, the lightning strike, because the game is stupid. Oh, did I deploy the vehicle? Ugh, I didn't mean to do that. At least we got some bears. Fultoning bears is a good thing because they release a lot of... Hello? They don't release anything. They give you a lot of money. Alright, as soon as the checkpoint clears, I'm gonna kill myself by jumping off here.
I've updated the mission list. We've received a new job offer. The details are on your iDroid.
Well, actually, where is this mission? That's what I want to know. Proxy war without end. Eliminate the CFA armored column assembling to the north of Nova Braga Airport. The column contains a large scale of fighting vehicles.
The CFA are gearing up for a large-scale attack against Angola's MPLA government. We're assembling our armored column to the north of Nova Braga Airport and will be ready to move soon. We've been contracted by the MPLA to put a stop to them. But the civil war will keep burning on, whether we accept this job or not. Another East-West proxy war with the communist MPLA on one side, and the capitalist-funded CFA on the other. Now a seesaw of blood and violence played out in the hands of the superpowers. I have my doubts at first. I think we should take this job. Skullface is gone. Cypher still remains. Competition with rival PFs will only get more intense. For us to survive, we need to expand our organization, get strong enough that no one can threaten us. So our only option is to fight and grow, and fight and grow.
Wow. You're so true. Let's see if I can die. Woo! Yes. I do die. Mosh. 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 Well. The thing about dying is you don't get whatever is in your captured cage. That's okay. Bitch, you just told me about it!
Received a new job offer.
I'm returning to Mother Base. Let's get whatever cutscene is here out of the fucking way. What time is it, by the way? I should probably check. Yeah, see, I knew this would happen.
Hey,
Eyes for Kazuhira. Message from the parasites.
So basically, that's just like, Code Talker gets intel from the fucking parasites, which is really fucking stupid. But hey, that's the series for you. What's the series if not stupid? Anyway, we have another photograph for Paz. We're gonna do that. Hey, Gray XOF for quiet. That's good. Meaning quiet can be put in some fucking clothes. So I don't have to risk YouTube taking my fucking video down on some fluke on the fucking end of the bot, whatever they use. Automatic shit. Woo! It's the end of pause mission, I think.
Snake?
She's been acting differently lately. Before, she'd respond to conversation. Just as long as it didn't conflict with her timeline. But now nothing gets a reaction from her.
What happened?
No idea. Well, Miller did go and tell her that Skullface is dead. If anyone should want revenge against him, it would be her. But it's not exactly like an angel of peace to cheer for someone's death. Now is it? There. Take a look at this, too. See it? Right there.
The wound is open.
Yeah. It was all closed up, and then it went back to this.
But why?
The medic has no idea how it happened. He figures it must have been self-inflicted.
So that's not the end of the pause thing. And I didn't even give a photograph, so that was like just a thing, you know? Let's see if I can give her the photograph though. Whoa ho! Say now, say. 7 a.m. waking up in the morning. That's fine, that's fine. around 6 o'clock. Imagine if you could just like throw away 3 whole days. Oh, it's just raining in here. Yeah, imagine if you could just throw away 3 whole days of your life just smoking. That would both be useful and horrible.
Birthday parties. They are something to look forward to every month.
Every month.
Miller was so funny at this one. When is the party this month? Last month was... I cannot remember. It was... And then I... No, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace. I am a student. I am so tired. I will just lie here a while.
Okie dokie. Have fun with that. So that's all. I don't know where the next. Yeah, that's Wandering Puppets 1. I'll just do that off screen now. Where's Wandering Mother Base? There it is. So we can continue with that. I think that's gonna be it. It's a pretty short stream, but I have shit to do, and I might stream again later. Maybe like tomorrow or something. And I'm also tired. It's been a really long work week, so I don't really have the energy to just keep doing this. Not right now, anyway. But I do need to play cassette tapes, so I will be doing that. Otherwise, we're gonna have too many cassette tapes. Look how fucking fast that helicopter is. It's ridiculous. So, as usual, I will mute my mic, and I'm gonna wash dishes while it plays. Hopefully, I'll notice when I have to change the cassette tape. But yeah. Before I go, I want to mention, once I'm finished Phantom Pain, I want to start streaming randomizers again. Most notably, I want to finish a Majora's Mask seed at one point. It's just that if you take a break from a seed you did of Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time, or any seed really, you forget all the shit you got, so it's like hard to progress through the game and check all the things you already got, you know? So I need to just spend a full day streaming one of those at some point. Anyway, now we're gonna start the cassette tape, so I'll see you when this is done.
Snake, you remember the White Mamba? Of course, he's been going by Eli since we brought him on base. He was the leader of the child soldier unit we took out of that village and into our protection. Well, according to the kids you brought back here, all the escapees were especially close to Eli. There's reason to suspect he's behind all 6 escapes. We've already detained him. I'll be questioning him shortly.
Wait. You'll be?
Ocelot.
You're incapable of taking an impartial stance with those kids. Question them all you want. It'll get you nowhere.
Ocelot, you get too many kicks from your art of interrogation.
It's not a matter of art. It's about quick, minimal strokes of psychological warfare. That's what gets the answers. And it's the best way to keep both questioner and subject safe. The risks only increase the more an interrogation drags on. At that point, it causes as much pain to the inflictor as the inflicted.
Like I said, too many kicks.
What I'm trying to tell you is we need quick results. Otherwise, it'll be too little, too late.
I know that.
And besides, I know the subject. I won't go overboard with a kid.
Forget it. You're not needed. Snake, we'll want to question the other kids too. Be sure to bring them all back.
I have no doubt Skullface's plan is almost complete. At that point, I will no longer be of use to him. I must leave behind this record at least. A record of how the ancient vocal cord parasites became these abominable ethnic cleansing parasites. I believe he has 2 purposes for the ethnic cleansing parasites. The first, as their name suggests, is ethnic cleansing. This conflict between East and West that envelops the world will not last much longer. Once the Cold War ends, and the weight of America and the Soviet Union is lifted away, the ethnic conflicts they kept suppressed will all rise to the surface. It is not difficult to imagine that the radical sides will begin cleansing their adversaries. What
What if an ethnic cleansing parasite matching the language of the aggressors were to be unleashed? The aggressors would be washed off the earth. At the very least, the idea that retaliation could eradicate your people would prove a powerful deterrent. The second purpose is the Englishization of the world. To cipher the organization, this is probably their main use. Man thinks in words, or rather, words are man's very means of thinking. If you erase a word representing some concept, the concept itself disappears from the world. Nishone means beautiful in Navajo, but the image that comes to mind when we say Nishone differs from the Blagana's beautiful. An azure sky, a rolling landscape, lush greenery. The meaning we place in Nishone has its roots in Dene culture. If we lose the word Nishone, the images of our beautiful homeland would be washed away into oblivion along with it. Just as Orwell indicated years ago, Cypher, being based in America, is pushing Englishization for this very reason. Suppose all 5 billion people on this planet come to read, speak, and think in English. Their wills could also be streamlined under English. Cypher's control would be all the easier. Economic governance would progress in leaps and bounds. The ethnic cleansing parasites would be a great aid in accomplishing this goal. There is no need to destroy every language besides English. All they need to do is weaken other dominant languages competing with it. Russian, Chinese, Arabic. If people know they risk their lives speaking such languages, they will flock to the lingua franca that is English. Cypher need not even focus attention on smaller languages. After all, they are already being eaten away by English. Business, education, film, commodities. English has permeated every area of global society. I can see this when I look at young Dene. Some of them have already lost their grasp of the Navajo language. It is said that over 2,000 languages of the world are facing extinction. This very moment, cultural concepts and forms of expression are disappearing forever. The spread of electronic networks gives greater meaning to Englishization. Networks have no national borders. By basing them on a single language, they can penetrate deeper into and between people. That basic point of unity provides the ideal environment for someone who aims to control people's wills. But how does this differ from building the Tower of Babel? The ethnic cleansing parasites attempt to rob man of his words. Such irony. It was the vocal cord parasites that gave words to him in the first place. Ancient man had no language, unable to produce complex sounds due to the structure of the throat. He could communicate only through simple vocalizations and gestures. Then the vocal cord parasites infected his larynx. Man's transition to walking upright did not gift him solely with intelligence, but also with his voice. At the time, the vocal cord parasites never harmed man. They merely took a small measure of nourishment. In fact, you could call it a symbiotic relationship. Some animal species use particular vocalization patterns to attract a female and reproduce. Songbirds, certain insects, and also the vocal cord parasites. The difference is that the parasites themselves did not produce sounds. Rather, they had their hosts. Man, do it for them. Once secure on the human host vocal cords, a male vocal cord parasite caused the host to produce a certain sound pattern, something like a warble of a bird. Meanwhile, females parasitizing other host pharynxes need only wait. Upon hearing the sound pattern of an attractive mate, they would manipulate their hosts into making contact with the person it came from. The female traveled through his host's saliva to the other host's vocal cords, where the male was waiting, and the pair copulated. We can only imagine how the female manipulated his host, but it was probably through smell. Smells traveled directly to the limbic system via the olfactory cilia in the nasal cavity. Volatile compounds released by the female would stimulate the limbic system, which controls instincts, making the host feel amorous. This kind of sexual selection naturally led to competition between the male parasites. Males that had their hosts produce sounds perceived by females as more attractive succeeded in copulating and producing offspring. Evolutionary traits caused by sexual selection are curious. The peacock's feathers, the mannequin's dance, the firefly's luminescence pattern. Even with courtship behaviors that are not advantageous to survival, those individuals that excel in them produce offspring, and it escalates with each generation. The same was true of the vocal cord parasites. Courtship vocalization rhythms and intonations became more sophisticated, and in order for man to produce such sounds, they had to alter his vocal organs. By lowering the position of the larynx and developing resonating chambers, they enabled more complex pronunciations. But that was not all. The vocal cord parasites activated a transcription factor that would later control man's language ability. A protein that, due to its appearance, is called forkhead box protein P2, or FOXP2. Activating this transcription factor led to the development of brain function capable of creating sophisticated frequency changes. This was the pinnacle of the vocal cord parasite's prosperity. However, this sophisticated pronunciation control was too useful for man to ignore. Once human sexual activity ceased to be only seasonal, and having lost pigment-based sexual characteristics, distinctive vocalizations became the most effective means for humans to attract mates as well. Combined with logic pathways hardwired into the brain, or universal grammar, it was not long before advanced communication was possible. This was the birth of language. Luckily for man, it was around this time that a particular retrovirus was circulating. While not lethal, it infected not only man, but the vocal cord parasites as well. It is presumed that this virus removed part of the parasite's DNA and reverse transcribed it into man's reproductive cells. It was a vector. Among the genes it transcribed were the ones responsible for the production of language. The vocal cord parasite's vocalization genes were written into the human genome. The parasites were no longer of any use to man now. Man could use his voice as he pleased, when he pleased, hindering the parasite's courtship vocalizations. Having lost their opportunity to reproduce, the parasites died out, leaving behind only the transcribed genes. The vocal cord parasites were once in symbiosis with man. Its genes even became a part of his. Humans and parasites are extremely close. As such, it will be extremely difficult for man's immune system to eliminate the vocal cord parasites, even even cutting them out will be no simple matter, which is exactly why these ethnic cleansing parasites are such a formidable weapon. The rise of the vocal cord parasites goes back approximately 300 million years to the Permian period. At that time, they were not even parasites, but predatory autotrophs. They are believed to have been the common ancestor to the Pentastomida and the Cyclops genus of copepods. However, Earth's environment underwent a violent change at the end of the Permian period. The cause is unclear, but evidence suggests that over 90% of the Earth's organisms at that time died out. The most pronounced threat to the protoparasites was the severe reduction in oxygen concentration. The result was cladogenesis, a splitting that gave birth to a new strain that could parasitize other organisms' respiratory apparatus. This survival tactic helped lower their oxygen consumption, and inhabiting the throat kept them securely in contact with inhaled air. The best survivors were those that parasitized the reptiles that flourished at the time. Entering the Triassic period, the reptiles evolved into dinosaurs, and the protoparasites shared in their success. Dinosaurs developed respiratory organs called air sacs to adapt to the low oxygen environment. These in particular helped the protoparasites thrive. But another trial awaited them. The end of the Triassic period saw another drastic change in the Earth's environment. For most parasites, the male and female take the same host. Many are, in fact, hermaphrodites. Originally, the vocal cord parasites were as well. But for any strain to ride out a severe environmental change, it must secure a steady pool of genetic diversity. Another split. Now the newest strain procreated with mates found in other hosts. And in order to increase its encounters with those mates, the new strain utilized the voice of its host. They came to inhabit the host's vocal cords. This truly was the birth of the vocal cord parasite. The parasites developed the host's pharynx to form resonating chambers and used them to produce sophisticated mating calls. The relatively upright posture of the dinosaurs was important in this, because the crooked L-shaped pharynx was more suited to the development of resonating chambers. These developments ushered in a time of great prosperity for the parasites. But for the third time, the parasites had a major hurdle to overcome. The meteorite impact at the end of the Cretaceous period, which spelled the end of the dinosaurs. With their hosts extinct, the vocal cord parasites had no option but to find a new habitat. Birds, as genetic successors to the dinosaurs, with functioning air sac apparatus already in place. Birds were the perfect choice. But the parasites could not survive in birds that flew at high altitudes with thinner air. So they parasitized ground-dwelling birds and altered their respiratory system for the sake of reproduction. They gave the birds the means to produce sophisticated sounds. The syrinx responsible for chirping. This is the proof that points to activation of FOXP2 in songbirds as well as humans. The Cenozoic era began with a rise in oxygen concentration, which helped mammals to evolve and increase in size. The parasites then shifted to humans as a more effective host. Humans' bipedal upright walking meant that our throats could support larger resonating chambers. At first, vocal cord parasites entered humans using birds as their intermediate host. But eventually they changed to conducting their entire life cycle within human hosts. What happened next is as I have already described. People took the vocalizing prowess given them by the parasites and made it language. And once the parasites could no longer use it as their mating call, they died out. Or in other words, the parasites overcame all evolutionary hurdles except humanity. Skullface shared his opinion on this matter. He said the Ethnic Cleansers Project was sure to succeed. After all, the parasites had a grudge against us humans. To think we awoke them after such a long slumber, just so they could sate their thirst for vengeance. It is terrible, unforgivable, and yet, it is what I have done. I learned of the vocal cord parasite's existence in literature belonging to the Foundation. It was little more than a theory. The question was, why does only Homo sapiens among all primates have highly developed language? Human versus everything else. The missing link between these was the mystery that gave rise to this theory. I was fascinated by the idea of their existence. In the Dene creation myth, the Neil Dene, who first inhabited the world, were insect-like creatures. I came to imagine that those insect-like creatures could be humans living in symbiosis with the vocal cord parasites. But I had not the faintest idea of how I could resurrect them. That is when Skullface came to me. What he offered me was not just assistance with my metallic archaea research. He told me the vocal cord parasites really existed. And not only did they exist, they had already been brought back to life in the modern age. An ancient human cadaver, host to the parasites of the time. Cypher excavated such a cadaver from a permafrost region and isolated the DNA coding of the vocal cord parasites. Naturally, they were long dead and could not be brought back, but there was an alternate vessel they could use. A relative species of the Pentastomida discovered in China. It had adapted to live in the nasal cavity of animal hosts, but its genetic sequence showed signs of common ancestry with the vocal cord parasites. Ontogenesis, a path of an organism to maturity, is like a roadmap of the phylogenetic evolution of the entire strain. Cypher used this to effect a reverse evolution of the modern parasite and resurrect the vocal cord parasites. They interposed a developmental mechanism to the ontogenetic stage analogous to when the relative species first appeared, the point at which it split from the vocal cord parasites, forcing its evolution down the other path, the vocal cord parasite path. The larvae is produced by the vocal cord parasites, reborn. I do not know in detail how Cypher accomplished this, but clearly they have access to high-level genetic technologies. Skullface said it was the work of a genius woman scientist, and that the relative species in question was first discovered by a group once called the Philosophers. I was tasked with modifying the resurrected parasites. He charged me with two demands. First, to add lethality to these organisms that had once lived in peace with man, by unleashing the larvae's latent desire to consume nutrients from the host's lung tissue, making them eat and eat until the lungs were destroyed. Second, to have both male and female inhabit the same host and copulate then and there only when exposed to specific pronunciations continuously over an extended time. What he would do to the Dene if I failed. ultimate objective of the ethnic cleansing parasite project was the identification of not only languages, but of actual cultures. Language is deeply connected to ethnicity, but many languages are employed by multiple ethnic groups, and confrontation between those ethnic groups is by no means rare. If the cleanser parasites were to be a deterrent against ethnic conflict, they had to distinguish between groups using means other than pure language. The original plan called for this to be achieved by differences in the transmission vector. Each ethnic group has different lifestyle customs and eating habits. For instance, parasites living in shallow water and taken in through the skin could be used to target rice farming groups, or parasites using cows as their intermediate host would be ineffective against cultures that abstain from eating beef. But that is a lofty goal indeed. The current parasites mainly rely on droplet transmission. It would take extensive time to alter the transmission route. I eventually learned that the Ethnic Cleansers project had been shut down. It was Skullface who put it back into operation. But despite that, he told me to forget about the transmission route and just focus on language identification. I do not know why. I understand that the Chinese philosophers who discovered the relative species of parasite originally planned to develop a phonogrammic Alexia parasite. The left temporoparietal region is home to the part of the brain that identifies the phonetic symbols of the English language. They wished to create a strain that would parasitize that region and suppress its literacy functions. The brain area responsible for identifying the logographs of Chinese, meanwhile, is in the left middle frontal gyrus, meaning that even if native speakers of Chinese were infected with the parasite, the literacy would be unaffected. Old and new, east and west, there is no limit to the delusions of those in power. But this delusion threatens to become a reality. I have to do something to stop this. There must be something I can do. Snake, about the escaped children. Eli confessed. The way he tells it, they wanted to go back to the battlefield. Don't rob them of their freedom, he said. If you bring them all back, there will be consequences. Next to be asking for our surrender.
Consequences? What consequences?
No idea. That's all I have for now.
You're too attached to those kids. Stop protecting Eli.
Listen to yourself.
Let me question him, and we'll get some real answers.
Not necessary. I'll report as and when.
Boss, we found weapons in the children's section of the living quarters. As you know, weapons are strictly off limits. We've got some rule breakers. The weapons we found were handmade. Blades ground out of knives and forks, a couple of bow guns built out of scrap, and explosives made using detergents. And get this, the explosives were tightly packed with nails. The kids put the blame on, you guessed it, Eli. I guess that's what he meant by consequences.
I questioned him about it, but this time he claimed they want to be put out on missions. Send us to the battlefield, he says.
Miller, enough is enough. You've protected him too much already. It's my turn to question him.
Protected?
What Eli's doing is issuing a threat. Comply with my demands or I'll respond with force. But it'll be war at this rate. Forks and soap aren't gonna kill us, but some of them will end up dead. Is that what you want? Now, I hate to say it, but they want to be on the battlefield. It's time you gave up this fantasy.
Eli, he said they'd rise up against us if we bring the last kid back.
There, you see? Ignore his demands. Don't let him return to quarters. That attitude is contagious. we'd lose control over them for good.
For the time being, we've confiscated those handmade weapons. We're bumping up security and the number of psychiatric counselors. As for Eli,
He needs some very special care.
you mean solitary?
Well, we can't leave him in contact with the other kids. If you won't do it, I will. Boss, keep working on extracting those kids.
The kids you brought back to base have laid out the situation. They all escaped to each of their home villages, or were trying to get home, and lost their way. Not that homesickness is gonna explain everything we've seen.
Each of their home villages. They were trying to raise troops for the rebellion.
You really think these kids have an armed uprising in them?
You read the report of the security team member who had a rock thrown at him. There'll be a riot if we don't do something. And Miller, this is because you didn't act fast enough.
Fine. I'll admit you were right this time.
Seal off the kids' quarters from outside contact before it's too late.
All right.
Eli said his rebellion would start when the last kid is brought back, right? You better be ready to meet him head on if it really happens.
Yeah.
You should have left it to me in the first place.
Boss, they're just kids. We have a responsibility to see that those kids make it. It's not about feeling protective or the pros and cons. I hate kids. That's exactly what I heard from the people who raised me. People who abandoned me, more like. That's the spark that kept me going, you know? I wanted to show those adults what I was made of. Wanted to get back at them one day. But before I knew it, I was all grown up. Never saw it coming. All of a sudden, people treated me as an adult. Some adult I turned out to be. But I feel like if my life had been different, if the adults I knew had been different, I could have grown up better. Yeah, that's it, all right. I wanted to use those kids to test that theory. That's all this was. From their point of view, I'm no different from the assholes who gave me a hard time. When this is all blown over, I'll talk it out with them. If that's still possible. Boss, there are still kids out there. Bring them back safe.
Boss, it's me. Eli's revealed what he wants. He wants to speak with you. With Big Boss. He just said, bring my father here. Eli's too smart for his own good. No way to tell what he's thinking. All we know for sure is his men are important to him. That means we can use the escaped kids as leverage in any negotiation. Once you've brought the last one back, I'll interrogate him. If the kids do rise up, we'll meet them full force. End of story. I didn't want things to turn out like this. We could have prevented it, but it's too late now. If Eli means to take this all the way, he's gonna force us to do the same. Boss, go get that last kid. We finished decoding the informant's report. That floating kid we've run into a few times now. Looks like he was a test subject in clinical experiments. The Soviets called him the Third Boy. The Third Boy was brought to a lab on the outskirts of Moscow from Czechoslovakia, after which he was due to be sent to a research center in Leningrad, then Siberia, and finally an academic town in Novosibirsk. It doesn't appear that the researchers witnessed the talents we've seen from him, but nevertheless he was quite the popular subject. His latent cognitive abilities suddenly awoke en route to Moscow. According to the report, the Third Boy was easily influenced by other individuals' biofields. Evil thoughts, in particular. They affected his mind like a virus. Extreme anger or resentment, motives for revenge, in other words. Now, during a transport flight to Moscow, the boy was exposed to a powerful mental energy field coming from a certain individual. Ever since, being conscious of his powers, he's become a sort of energy generator. What's unique about him is the way his acute telepathic abilities get taken over by another person's will. The boy began to physically parasitize individuals experiencing extreme anger and codify the host's desires. This includes amplifying the host's natural strengths. Or, in accordance with the host's desires, he can also implant program code in another individual, making them a puppet, essentially. Human neural synapses transmit weak electrical currents between neurons. These electrical currents, though at a level difficult to observe, warp the magnetic field outside the body. The third boy is able to pick up these weak fluctuations. Contrary to psychotronics, which involves controlling the human mind, his abilities as a receptor are too high. The emotions he picks up from another individual are amplified and unleashed into his body as they recur in his brain. They turn into microwaves, which then affect the physical world, triggering paranormal phenomena like the spontaneous combustion of organic matter or psychokinesis, moving an object without touching it. There's one other thing. While he's parasitizing a host, the boy's ego gets shut away, allowing the will of the host to take control of his powers, like some annoying static drowning out your own voice. That means he isn't responsible for what's been happening. Somebody's extreme anger has manifested through the third boy's powers in ways none of us could have predicted, which would mean this was going on somewhere around us. Looking back on it, a lot of things make sense now. The man on fire, Sahelanthropus, they both came to life thanks to the third boy's powers. Everything has been happening through him as a catalyst. We first saw him in the hospital on Cyprus. The boy parasitizing the man on fire's desire for revenge gave him his new abilities in return. He next appeared at the Hamid Fighter's Fort where the honeybee was hidden. There, the boy parasitized Skullface's vengeful mind. He controlled Sahelanthropus, making it do whatever Skullface wanted. Same goes for when we extracted Emmerich onto the chopper. When he appeared at the Devil's House in Central Africa, Skullface's will controlled the man on fire via the third boy's powers. Everything is clear up to this point. But even the informant couldn't pinpoint who the host was in the cave within Serac power plant. Sahelanthropus suddenly became active, then crushed not only the man on fire, but Skullface as well. Surely neither of them could have been the host. Who else was at that location and bore anger more extreme than either of them? Whose will was controlling Sahelanthropus? According to the report, emotions transmitted in children's brains affect the surrounding magnetic field more strongly. Cerebral nerves are covered with insulation called myelin sheaths to increase impulse speed. The reason for this leakage has to do with the fact that children's myelin sheaths are still developing. So, how many children do you remember being there? Children with a burning desire for revenge and bearing a grudge against you. I can think of only one. Eli. We don't know what kind of life he's had, but the resentment he's shown toward adults is nothing short of extraordinary. The third boy resonated with Eli's mind. And that means Eli bore the strongest animosity of all individuals within the boy's reception range, estimated to be a 3-mile radius, beating out even Volgan and Skullface. The third boy has probably remained hooked on Eli's anger since. You remember at the Devil's House, the third boy showed an interest in Shabani? That must have been his ego making a rare appearance. He may possess abilities far beyond anyone else in the world, but he's still a kid. Maybe them both being kids was enough to bring them together. And if so, maybe with Eli, he isn't feeding off him, but acting in symbiosis with him. So what kickstarted the third boy's powers? If we look at the location and time that his plane went down, we can make a pretty good guess. When the plane experienced the first anomaly, it gave an accurate report of its position to a control tower, due north of the Black Sea, 125 miles east of Kiev. Dead south on the Black Sea is Cyprus's Green Line. So the plane's position was directly north of the hospital where you'd been asleep for 9 years. And this anomaly was reported at exactly the same time that you woke up. The plane was enveloped in flame from the inside out. The fuselage burnt to ashes. There were no survivors, at least not publicly admitted. Your thoughts formed a synchronicity with the boy's psyche and were amplified inside his brain. That would have been more than enough to trigger his abilities. Your rage was like a big bang in his head, blowing the lid off his powers. The boy was then secretly moved to the lab outside of Moscow where Volgin was comatose. There, Volgin's thoughts resonated with the boy and he was awakened. Volgin became the man on fire, hell-bent on getting revenge on you. His instincts led him straight to you. Skullface knew Volgin from Operation Snake Eater, or perhaps from even before. Monitoring this pair of extraordinaries, he discovered the hospital and sent his assassin and XOF. Skullface was probably watching the situation from close by. Then, realizing how useful these two test subjects could be, he approached them. Reacting to Skullface's thirst for revenge, this time the boy let Skullface's will control Volgin. Volgin, at times driven by personal revenge, at times through Skullface's will, kept on moving, though his body was little more than dead meat. Perhaps there were moments where even your thoughts affected him as well. But without the boy's power, it was like the plug had been pulled from the socket. Everything was powered by anger, malice, revenge. This is how the end of the report sums things up. Both the third boy and the man on fire were originally test subjects of paranormal research for military applications. Like telekinetically controlling the leader of an enemy nation and making him launch a nuke. Or stopping the heart of someone on the wrong side of the Berlin Wall. Experimenting with latent human abilities. They were used as tools of the Cold War. The boy's only crime was being born with unique gifts. But he was sacrificed on the altar of war. His life reduced to slavery under other people's wills. Turned into a living weapon with no will of his own. Eventually, the only emotion he could feel must have been the desire to get revenge for the hand he'd been dealt. Boss, it's you that awakened the boy's powers. But there's more to it than that. I guess the anger emanating from you was something he could truly relate to.
I hope you bought a better hamburger this time, Kazuhira.
Right. Well,
The last one was lacking in every way. The patty was too thin, the bun too dry, and the lettuce dazzled at best.
hey, that was 100% all beef patty, and no shortening in the bun either.
Nature's blessings, unadulterated, in hamburger form. Is that it? But when taste falls short, so does our gratitude to nature. Making such precious blessings unpalatable is sacrilege.
I hate to admit it, but I think you're right. I should have known better than to settle for second best. That's why I had him run some more R&D, develop a new burger. In fact, one of our researchers just dropped by with the latest results. Here it is. See how you like this?
We shall see indeed. I thank you for this bounty, Mother Earth.
So, what's the verdict?
Not bad,
And?
but it does not hold a candle to what I ate back home.
Everyone's a critic. Damn it. I was sure the Kobe beef, but maybe we didn't add enough. If we add any more, we're cutting into our profits.
Profits?
We'll be taking a loss on every unit.
What are you talking about?
Huh? Oh, anyway, I'll be back with another round of product.
I will be waiting. Did you say product?
Feeling hungry, old timer?
Old timer. I do not get hungry, no. But you have a new hamburger?
You guessed it. And this time we used lamb.
Lamb.
You're not a lamb kind of guy?
A hamburger is made of beef. Who ever heard of a hamburger without beef?
Yeah, but we gotta stay fresh, stand out from our competition. we were onto something this time. Maybe the problem is that it looks like a regular hamburger. Gotta think outside the box. Too much baggage if they come in expecting just another burger. Let's see, cotton candy? To make it look like a sheep? Yeah.
Just a minute. You really think people would eat that? What is it you are planning? Are you using me? A taste tester? A one-man focus group?
Well, actually, already started. I got a place called, Miller's Maxi Buns.
You are kidding me.
Well, to be honest, business hasn't been great. No one seems to like my, buns.
The Ocelot said Diamond Dog's budget did not add up. But you don't mean to tell me.
What? No. Our black budget's got it all covered. I'm not embezzling GMP or anything. Still, let's not say anything to Snake, okay?
Very well. However, Kazuhira, it takes more than premium ingredients and a clever recipe to satisfy the palate.
Okay. So what do we do?
The palate seeks one thing: chemical additives.
Chemical additives.
There is nothing mysterious or spiritual about good flavor. The tongue simply identifies specific amino acids, which the brain then recognizes as appealing. Therefore, all that is needed is to chemically isolate those amino acids and incorporate them into your products. To be clear, I speak of flavor. The rest is irrelevant.
That seems a little extreme.
Do not forget that I am a scientist after all. And using science for the benefit of others is a joy. In seeking coexistence with nature's blessings, not everything can remain in its natural form. When we fall ill, we must be treated. Otherwise, that very nature could cost us our lives. Agriculture is one of nature's many blessings. But through that process, we damage the surrounding vegetation.
Yeah. Whether it's a massive farm or a tiny field, we always leave our mark on the land.
The same is true of parasites and for food preparation. If tapeworms in the raw meat of another animal enter the human body, they roam around trying to find their usual habitat, sometimes even eating away at the brain in their confusion. So in looking through a scientific point of view, you see the necessity for processing food. Yes, it is also sometimes necessary to eliminate certain parasites, or selectively use or even modify others. Alternatively, we could say that if a man is part of nature, the work he does is also part of it. What is important is the balance.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, old-timer. You really opened my eyes. I fooled myself into thinking people today wanted high-quality, all-natural goods. But my favorite burgers were never about that. What they want is something like the first burger I had in America when I went to meet my dad. A Frankenburger loaded with additives. That's the America I knew and loved. I'll be back in a jiffy, old-timer. My next burger's gonna knock your socks off.
Kazuhira, wait. What is important is how we balance the... quick for a